Last week, what happened? Absolutely. But that we have completed and I started agriculture. Agriculture. No, why don't you come last week? I didn't many. Just to go through if you need out this. Actually, no, my course sir has done. And first climate, research resources, and this my question. And whatever was given to him, he did not start. That is. Now, next week I have to take Wednesday. When your school is starting? June 5th. Near was supposed to be there. For the mineral. This one, this thing passes over. No? Okay, it's not having. So then I have to take this. But today, let me see how much their tablets are. Last week, both of them were good. You did not go for other classes also. Oh. You understood all those things, whatever we have learned. You can just take it out. And this started agriculture now. Completed or not agriculture. Up to how much do I have to take it? It's going to be not okay. So what are the challenges faced by Other economic factors we have. Okay. Science. Okay, let us recall. You were not see through the lesson we have done that how important agriculture is. As far as the economic activity is concerned, agriculture is the mainstay of this economy. About 58% of the people depend on agriculture. So, if you are saying unofficially, this is one official data. Unofficially, 66% of the Indian population depend on agriculture. Then we have seen it provide national income, it provide GDP, it provide GVA, that is gross value added. So all this phase, agriculture is considered as very important part of our economy. Then we have seen that what are the commodities used to be exported. That is, wood, cotton, tea, tobacco, cashew nuts, spices, all these things are exported. Then it provided raw materials to the industries and it purchase finished products from the industry. So there is a connection between agriculture and the industry. What is that? They go hand in hand. Next point we have learned is that it is a source of income for the population. And afterwards, we started about the problems the farmers face. Can you tell about what are the problems we have discussed? First part, environmental problems. You did not write it. Mark will read. Yes, you tell. What are the environmental factors? Unreliable rainfall, lack of irrigation facilities, then yes, land degradation and soil erosion. You just mark it that. Okay. Then methods, old and outdated methods of cultivation. Demand for food. When the population is increasing, there is a huge demand for food. Reduction in net zone. That point is clear to you. What is net zone area? Net zone area is the area which is cultivated at that particular agricultural area. Okay. So net zone area is reduced. Then second factor, institutional factors. What are the institutional factors? Small and fragmented land. Did you understand what is small and fragmented landholding space? If a farmer is having this much land, that is, you consider it is 5 hectares. One example only I am telling. So this farmer is having 4 children. So that the land is divided among that 4 children. Now, out of that one person, he got 3 children. So that is further fraction. So small size and fragmented lands. This land is very difficult to do agriculture. Is this point clear? Clear or not? Next point, exploitation of farmers. No? How farmers are exploited? The majority of the farmers are illiterate and they are poor also. Poverty and illiteracy of the farmers made them to be exploited by money lenders and other traders and others. So that is what exploitation of the farmers. And if any kind of crop failure or like that happen, they have no other sources. So this is utilized by these money lenders and exploitation of the farmers. Clear? Next, economic factors. No? 10, 30, no? Correct or not today, 30? What are the economic factors?
Subsistence agriculture.
Yeah?
Subsistence agriculture.
Subsistence agriculture. You please write, otherwise no, there will not be any connection. What is subsistence agriculture? Farmers are producing place for them and their families. See here, production for so they are producing less amount for not producing a large amount for selling in the market. So this is the method of subsistence farming. So at the part we can study about that. Which are the different types of farming. So farmers are producing only for the needs. So they continue to remain in poverty. Did you get how this subsistence farming is a challenge? See, if they sell it in the market, then only they get some money. So that is not possible if they are producing only for their family needs. Then, so subsistence farming is a challenge. Now, next point is what comes in the human element?
Farmers are poor, frustrated, and educated. They do not follow the modern techniques of farming, nor can they purchase modern equipment. Due to the lack of marketing facilities and not availability of low or fair rate of interest, the farmers are not able to invest their pesticide in agriculture. They have no security against the failure of crop, neither do they have capital security.
See, this is also in connection to that previous point which we have discussed. We are poor. Because of their poverty and illiteracy, they were exploited by the zemitars or intermediaries. And they become debt-ridden. Did you get the meaning, debt-ridden? See, once they have taken a loan, they were unable to pay that loan. So interest and that loan amount that is accumulate. And sometimes they were forced to sell a part of the land. So this way debt ridden. Then continuously, that is, they were not getting good seeds for the growing crops. So they were not able to purchase that fertilizers and chemicals. So because of that, they continue to use old methods. So old methods means productivity will be low. These all types of problems and they depend upon that is Zamindars. Have you heard about Zamindars? Zamindars are the intermediaries between the landlord and the farmers. So this intermediaries is also used to exploit. These all are the economic factors. Clear? Then underline these points. If you are not writing, but better you just write in your book. So that it will be easy for us to recall where we have stopped. Okay, that much was completed last week. Okay. He wrote that much is complete. Okay. What was the while the green development also we have discussed.
Evaluation half is good.
Okay. However, then we are going to see technological factors. Over now that the economic factors. Anyone point is there economic factors?
Yeah. This moves by globalization.
Challenges close to by globalization. Can you tell us what is the challenge of globalization? Have you heard about the globalization? Did not this thing. And then the class notes, but you may not understand. But can you tell?
Globalization means all around the world.
You? Right? Making a global world. That means economy is interconnected. Just to think about that the things which are available in our nearby market. You may be not knowing that is in our time, that means when we were young or like that. Many things were not available in the market. That if we want to get it, we have to wait for the next season. That is nowadays every fruit is available in every season. Earlier only that particular season it used to be available. Now it is coming from other countries that according to their season these fruits are available. Or it is growing in that artificial way. So everything, every time it is available due to globalization. Making it global world means interconnectedness. Understood that? See, I think I have asked about the mobiles you are having, brand of mobiles. Yes. So that whatever brand you want, you can get it from your nearby shop. So this is one effect of globalization. Now how it is a challenge for the farmer. Try to imagine how it's a challenge for the farmer. If you are a farmer, you produce certain products. Okay. Now you have to sell your products in the international market. Is it easy? You have to make a name in the market, then only your product will be purchased. One simple example. Last week, that is one of my colleagues, sent a message in the WhatsApp with a photo of that mangoes. Okay. So what she said that she is having that mango in her own this thing, farmland. So if you want to just order. So it's a new way. Then only we will come to know that she is having that is in this organic. We can get it. So instead of buying from the market, we can trust and purchase. So she herself marketed her product. And not only to me, but to whomsoever she know that she sent this message. So that many people came to know, and that is we ordered and we have tasted that. So what is that? Is she herself advertised. Now I have given that one to the groups whom I am knowing. So she got publicity. So her product is being sold. So this is not possible for international market. So they have to purchase and they have to understand that this product is of good quality. So this kind of things that is from America, from other countries, they are having the facilities to market their products. And our farmers are not able to compete with the quality of foreign countries' products. So this is what the challenge. Did you get? In order to market their products, Indian farmers have to compete with the foreign countries' farmers. For them, it is very easy. Why? One example I will tell you. America, 0.5% of the people are doing farming. Whereas in India, 66% are engaged. So for this 66%, it is not possible for the government to give subsidies or other benefits. But for this large farmers, because America is a vast country, they have large farms. Only 0.5% of people are doing. So for that, the government can give all the facilities, benefits, subsidies and all. But this 66%, the government is not able to provide subsidies. Did you get the meaning of subsidy? That is the reduced rate. If the farmer have to buy fertilizers, the fertilizers that is 10 kilograms of fertilizer, if they have to purchase, they have to pay 600, 700 rupees the market. So that much they are not having money. Whereas these people, they get it at a very cheaper rate. Because only that many percentage of people are engaged. So that is a challenge. One is that marketing their produce, they have to compete with the quality of other countries' produce. Secondly, we have seen that they are not able to get subsidies. One more example, electricity. So farmers require electricity for pumping water and other irrigation purpose. Okay, so that also subsidized rate, if they get then only they can do. Whereas here, they will get at subsidized rate. So less percentage of people means government can provide. These are the challenge. Did you get the meaning? You are not in, you have not taken ego, no? Science will be over. So that is a little bit difficult to understand. This, now you understood or not? Next, this, we have to see reforms, no? Anything else? Technological factors. What are the technological factors?
Old
New
and
Old and
inefficient.
Inefficient tools or methods?
Techniques.
Okay. Say, still Indian farmers are using the old methods. Present day, for every activity, agricultural activity, the machines are available. New methods of sowing the seed, planting, then weeding, or all those things are available. But the people are forced to use the old methods. So old techniques make so much delays also, and good yield will not be. So that is a challenge they face. When let us see that also later on, that is agricultural practice. So when that some farmers are using all these modern techniques, they could do it faster and they get a good yield. If the land is tilled properly, tilling to be done properly, so that the roots of the plant will go deep and it can give good yield. But all the techniques, small implements or all that sickle, that food, all those types of implements, that tilling cannot take place. So old and inefficient techniques of agriculture reduce that production or yield. That is the challenge they face. Any more point? So, did you understand all these challenges faced by the farmers? Now, let us move to the reforms part. Let us go back to the period of independence. British exploited the Indian farmers to the maximum and they left. So it was a period India was facing with the food problem. The food production was very low and India was faced with so many famines. Okay, some are currently famines, that is what I just told. Famine. Okay, it killed millions of people. Now, when we got independence, the first challenge before the government was to increase the food production and make India self-sufficient in the field of food production. For that purpose, it took so many measures. The first measure was this land revenue policy only, land reform. We have seen here what small and fragmented lands. So they have introduced a system that make land available to maximum number of people. Say, if he is a farmer, he is a rich farmer, he is having 100 hectares of land. You are a farmer, you are having just 5 acres of land. He is not having any land. Now what to do? The government cannot make the food production properly in that case. So what the government did? Land ceiling. Ceiling means to make a limit of the land a person can hold. So from him the land is taken and distributed to the land. So this way land reform policies were introduced. Then government took initiative in setting up of some institution. One, Indian Council of Agricultural Research was set up. ICAR, Indian Council of Agricultural Research. So what is the objective of this one? Research is to be done, making that study of the nature of land. You have learned about the soil resources. In that, you learned about the different types of soil. For an ordinary person, especially the farmer, all the type of soils are same. They don't know what is the pH value, what is it rich in, what is it deficient of. So they used to continue that agricultural activity according to the idea. So if the land is rich in phosphorus and this farmer is adding phosphorus, so what will happen? The land yield will be 0. But it is deficient of urea to be added. So this way, researches to be done, land testing to be done, and make the farmers aware of these all things. That is what done by ICAR. Next is that in order to provide loans, that is banks and cooperatives were set up. Okay, so that is in order to provide that financial that help to the farmers. Then we have seen that Kisan credit cards. Weather bulletins. What is the use of weather bulletin? Informing the farmer about that is the upcoming weather conditions. So they will be alert about it. So we know that this year monsoon arrived earlier than that. No, that is what is the norm of that this one climate? Monsoon used to come in the month of June. Now in the month of May, 107 years the record is broken. It's after 107 years this May rainfall, and that also one day 225 millimeters of rainfall. Okay, in June or July it can happen, but in the May month, summer month, this much rainfall. So, in order to inform the farmers about the upcoming weather conditions, weather bulletins are issued. Did you get? Next one is that other, that is Kisan call centers. See, farmers are faced with so many types of crop failures and other type of problems. So, in order to get information to the farmers, they used to call to the Kisan call centers and they get the information. This type of institutional setup is there. Okay, now what was the next change? Tell green revolution, no? Correct? Yes. In 1960s, the most important priority was given to increase the food production. When we study about the population, I think you have one lesson at the end of this population. So, when we got independence, we were having only 35 crores of people. And 1951 census, when it was taken, it started increasing, and by that is up to 1980s, if you are saying, there was a growth of about 2%. Then it is started multiplying. Do you know progressive and proportional ratio? Progressive ratio is that multiply 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. Understood? Proportional ratio 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 like that. This is increasing. But the other one is multiplying, doubling. The population is also doubling like that. At a rate of that is 1% that the initial increase in the population. Afterwards, it started that is 2%, 2.2%. Now the population is 142 crores. So when we had to, or the government had to feed only 35 crores, they were struggling. Now, in the place of 35 crores, it will jump to 70 crores. How they will provide? So they have introduced a method called green revolution. Green revolution is the revolutionary production introduced in that revolutionary methods introduced in agriculture. Have you heard about the white revolution? What is the white revolution? In the field of milk production. This one is in the field of agriculture. So this green revolution is including a package approach. What is this package approach? See, here package approach means using high yielding varieties of seeds. Means the food production, that is yield should increase. Yield is that production. That is what we get. So for that, high yielding varieties of seeds are introduced. Now, high yielding varieties of seeds means they need chemical fertilizers, pesticides, controlled irrigation. All these things in a package format. If they are introducing only high yielding varieties of seeds, that will not. If they are using high yielding varieties, they should use chemical fertilizers and other methods. So when they are using all together, this is called package. Understood? So high yielding varieties of seeds, chemical fertilizers and pesticides, controlled irrigation, and whatever are the other requirements along with it. Say when you are then entering into a new class, you get books. Isn't it? You are purchasing the books or from the school, it is available. Yeah. From school. From school. Okay. Along with that, are they giving uniforms and all from the school? Or you are using the previous years? Is it compulsory? Some schools are having that compulsory purchase of uniforms along with that. Okay. What is this that? When you are purchasing the books, some schools are also encouraging them to purchase that some kind of reference books also compulsorily. They also add certain more things. So you are thinking, your parent is thinking about purchasing only the books. But here that is some more things are added. Oh, okay, if you are in extended, these books are also to be purchased. So this way, when we are using high yielding varieties of seeds, it also require chemical fertilizers, controlled irrigation, then all other things which are required for the production. So together it is known as bacteria. So that was introduced. That altogether is known as green revolution. It gave very good result. The food production jumped 3.5 times and then started increasing for a period. So when there was a need of food, the people become self-sufficient. At the same time, government was able to connect and steer. So that is what the change or the reform is. Got it? So you have to imagine that is that people were not having enough food things to eat. So when it was introduced in 1960s, M.S. Swaminathan is famous scientist to introduce this green drug. Last year only he died. So he was the pioneer. He was the person who designed it. The same way white revolution, it was introduced by Verghese Abraham. So this way, certain scientist mind, he was just a small entrepreneur. That Verghese Abraham, Verghese Kurian. He was a small entrepreneur, but he designed and introduced a great revolution in the field of milk production. So it all came in the minds of few people so that the problems which the country was facing could be solved. And it was at the time of Indira Gandhi, this kind of wheat revolution was introduced, and the production of wheat increased. It was tested only in Punjab and Haryana at that, and tested in the wheat product. That time we had to import wheat from America and other countries for satisfying the food need. So we achieved that great. That is why green revolution is one of the most important reform. Can you tell what is the next one? Reform? Any reform? Types of farming in India. Impact on Indian agriculture and national agriculture policy is not there. You just check that introductory part of syllabus. Impact is there or not there? Okay, I have briefed up that this month agriculture and production increased. It enabled Indian agriculture to change from subsistence to commercial. So earlier we have seen Indian farmers were doing subsistence agriculture. Now it transformed from subsistence to commercial. They started producing for sale purpose. And second is that the intensive agricultural production to that because of that self-sufficiency was achieved. Earlier, Indian farmers were not self-sufficient. Now self-sufficiency was achieved. Then new technologies under the Green Revolution create more employment opportunities. We have seen Green Revolution, so many things are there. Irrigation facilities, construction of canals and all, and many machineries and other things. Fertilizer factories were created. So many employment opportunities are created, and large farms were set up. The people from the eastern side, the Bihar and other neighboring states, People started migrating to Punjab, Haryana, etc. So they got the job opportunities. Next important point is that now obtain returns from agriculture by greater utilization of agricultural inputs. That is, now they are selling and they become rich through this agricultural activity. So rural areas prospered. Okay. Do you have this one volume? Just take the analysis points. If it up, I don't know. It's included in that. Impact on Indian agriculture. All 4 points. Is there in your textbook? I think so. Comparative is included. Now, National Agricultural Policy. The Union government announced the National Agricultural Policy envisaging over 4% growth rate per annum. So, National Agricultural Policy include that growth rate should be growth rate in the agriculture should be 4%. In an agricultural year, 4%. The policy seek to promote a technically sound, that the point also clearly you understand. Technically sound, economically viable, environmentally non-degrading, and socially acceptable use of country's natural resources. Have you seen? National Agricultural Policy. What all ways? Technically sound, economically viable, environmentally non-degrading, and socially acceptable use of country's natural resources. What are the natural resources? Include land, water, and genetic endowment to promote sustainable development. Have you heard about the word sustainable development? What is sustainable development? See, we all are targeting to increase the production or utilizing the resources. When we are utilizing the resources, we are damaging the environment. Are we? See, we are always interested in making our life happy. In order to enjoy that happiness and all, we purchase the things which satisfies us. And we are damaging the environment. So sustainable development means development should take place without damaging the environment. Understood? Sustainable development is the development taking place without damaging the environment. And secondly, that present day development should not compromise with the future. See, if we are exploiting the resources and finishing off, will we have anything for tomorrow? Have you ever thought about this of the species of animals and birds, forest? All these species have ended, extinct. Now, can we make it back or bring it back? Have you heard about cheetah? Cheetah. Is it there anywhere? Full Asia is not extinct. Africa. Africa is there. So Asiatic cheetah is not there. But India was rich in that. So because of our activity, now only some pictures can be shown to the generation. As we also can see. So next generation when it come, future generation, this picture also will not be available. So our activity, we damaged the environment, the ecosystem, and the animals, plant and everything. So this way, no, we should utilize the resource, but without the compromise in the future. This is what is sustainable is. Next point, you just read. The salient features of the policy are
annual growth rate of over 4%, private sector participation to be promoted through contract farming and land leasing, plant varieties to be protected through legislation, animal husbandry, poultry, dairy and aquaculture to receive high priority to the diversity act.
did you get all the meaning? Annual growth rate should be increased to 4%. Private sector participation to be promoted. What is private sector? See, if the government is investing on such things by giving subsidies or like that, yeah, the most important responsibilities of the government have to be kept aside. The construction of bridges, roads, railways, infrastructure facilities and all have to be kept aside. Then they have to focus on this farmers for getting only very small amount. So that is why if it is given to private sector, the aim is to make a maximum profit. For that, they will do something to encourage the farmers to grow more. That is why private sector participation. Next is that the plant varieties to be protected through legislation. There are so many plant varieties which are facing extinction. So this has to be protected. We know that there are certain plant species which are of great use. Olden times, many of the farmers, they realize the value of certain plants. Medicinal value of the plants. There is a plant named Himalayan yew, white eagle. It is in the Himalayan region, that is Himalayan Pradesh and all. And this is medicine for cancer. What they have done, exploited to the maximum and finish it. So if such a plant is preserved or allowed to grow or protect this particular species, further also cancer treatment can be done. So this kind of plant species to be protected, encouraging that such species, not only that species, many such species be protected. Next is that animal husbandry, poultry, dairy, and aquatic or aquaculture to be given high priority. So that farming can be diversified. It is not limited only on the field growing crops. These all things have to be simultaneously to be allowed to do. This much is clear. Let us move to types of agriculture. What type of agriculture we have learned? What is that type of? You, what type of agriculture is learning?
Organic farming.
Organic farming, it is not yeah. One of the challenges we face, challenge to by the farmers, we have then
Subsistence.
subsistence farming. Yes. When you are learning, that is together we will learn subsistence and commercial. Okay, you make the two columns and write it subsistence and commercial farming. Subsistence farming. You write, I'll tell you. Because it is coming for that. And distinguish between it can come. It just it can come. Okay. Let us make a comparative study that will be easy for us. In subsistence farming, farmer is growing crops for his family needs only. Because he is having small land and it is practiced in the regions where that tribal belt is there, where that the farmers are growing that food grains mainly. Understood? Whereas in the commercial farming, it is done for sale only. This particular type of cropping, that is commercial farming, it requires you vast land. So it is also called a plantation crop or cash crop or like that. That is one single crop on a larger area. Cash crop just because it is grown for selling purpose. Understood? And they earn money through selling it. But at the same time, when we look at that subsistence farming, it is the land holdings are small and scattered. They are here and there, small size holdings. So they cannot grow a single crop. Mechanized way they cannot do. Whereas here the large area where population pressure is low. So they could do machinery for agricultural activity. Or modern methods can be used. But in the small areas, they cannot be used. Next thing, farmers use traditional methods of farming. What are the traditional methods of farming? Simple implements they are using. Plow, and other than who. So like that, simple implements and old methods using the hands for scattering the seeds and all. So that is what I say, traditional methods. Now here, mechanized farming is practiced. They use machines for the whole activities. And all the things in a modern format. We have seen package approach, green revolution, high yielding varieties of seeds, use of chemical fertilizers. There are certain areas where that the fertilizers and all are applied with the help of that helicopter and all. That means they are using all these things as the large farms are. Then depends on monsoon, natural fertility, and environmental condition. And the small farmers have to wait for that monsoon to come because they don't have that irrigation facilities. They all the environmental conditions they have to eagerly wait for. But here the facilities are there. Facilities of irrigation, facilities of finance, transport, everything is available for commercial farming practice. The productivity is low, whereas in this case, productivity is very high. So that these are the differences between subsistence and commerce. Simply, you have to understand from a kind of farming which you produce that farmers needs or family needs and to save them. So this kind of comparative study if you are making that both the things can be easy. Okay? Are you getting? Now, next method, again we are going to study comparative way, intensive and extensive. Okay, wonder, this one, that is 10 minutes, we can see. And we will continue. The first one.
What should I put?
This is chapter.
Next.
CBSE. Otherwise, we just write question like, not, don't write like ICSE syllabus. What are the problems faced by farmers? Like that. Video, huh? That is small, no, 1 minute. You see that,
People required. Bank people very best. कौन कहता है? बैंक में भाषण में रहता है. कभी ये लिखा नहीं. कितना बड़ा वोट बैंक इन्वॉल्व होता है. वहाँ तो गवर्नमेंट आई पता लगा था हमको बैठ गया क्योंकि असल बात ये है सबके मकान में वही है बहुत करने का दुनिया में एक लौट के बना है जहाँ पे सोलर सबसे बेचना है सभी को बेनिफिट दे गया इसका मतलब है ना हमारा टुकड़े में जरा बनाना एक विधान है और आप उसको साल में मेहनत करके फसल गई अब उस फसल को आपको बेचना है तो जो हमारा करंट सिस्टम है उसमें 3 तरीके का फसल को बेचना पहला है लोकल मार्केट दूसरा है एपीएमसी मंडी और तीसरा है एमएसपी पहला ऑप्शन है लोकल मार्केट तो किसान को जानना कि साहूकार किसी स्टॉक पे तो किसी लोकल मार्केट में अपनी इंडिविजुअल कैपेसिटी को आगे बेच सकता है इसको 40 करोड़ की बात है तब तो वो स्वीकार करता है लेकिन जो कुंडलों में अनाज होता है उसके लिए सकल चाहिए कोल्ड स्टोरेज वेयर हाउस इनको बहुत पैसा लगता है तो गवर्नमेंट एक सेकंड ऑप्शन दिया एपीएमसी मंडी Irrigation becomes difficult concept small. Innovation advantage. Just hey, no one does it. अच्छा आपने ओटी में इनोवेशन का बात किया है अब यूपी में अगर इसका वाइड सीट बात पर कोशिश बड़ी टॉपिक challenges that is you generally go often very hard to get sleep still arm will do the same. डिस्कस करूंगा इंडियन इकोनॉमी में एग्रीकल्चर का इकोनॉमी जो सीरीज ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर चल रही है मैं इसमें छोटी छोटी वीडियोस लेके आया हूं ताकि आपको 5 मिनट में 10 मिनट के अंदर सब कुछ समझ आए तो सबसे पहले 5 और 10 मिनट के बीच की वीडियोस होती हैं प्रॉब्लम्स ऑफ इंडियन एग्रीकल्चर की मेन प्रॉब्लम्स हैं तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं सबसे पहली प्रॉब्लम है लैक ऑफ परमानेंट मींस ऑफ इरिगेशन पानी के परमानेंट साधन के लिए हमारे पास पानी बारिश हुई तो ठीक है बारिश नहीं हुई तो फसल की ऐसी की तैसी होगी ठीक है तो इसमें मैंने कुछ पॉइंट्स लिखे जो आपको याद रखते हैं कि डिपेंडेंस ऑन रेनफॉल कि हमारी जो एग्रीकल्चर है वो रेनफॉल पे डिपेंड करती है बारिश पे डिपेंड अगर वेलकम टू द केस तो आज जो टॉपिक हम डिस्कस कर रहे हैं वो है प्रॉब्लम ऑफ इंडियन एग्रीकल्चर ये एग्रीकल्चर जो है उसके सामने क्या क्या समस्या है सब खेती भी करते हैं लोग उसमें क्या क्या समस्याओं का सामना फेस करना पड़ता है या इंडियन एग्रीकल्चर में स्पेशली क्या क्या समस्या है उसको हम देख करेंगे बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक है भैया हर बार इसमें क्वेश्चन आता ही आता है डेफिनेट आ रहा है ठीक है तो आज तो डिस्कस करेंगे जिसमें से 4-5 तो आपको अच्छी तरह से याद कर लेंगे हालांकि सारी प्लानिंग है तेजी के साथ हम सामने से डिस्कस करेंगे ये जो टॉपिक है आपका चैप्टर नंबर 3 में सोच नहीं दे रखा है और ये चैप्टर का लास्ट तो टॉपिक है इसके बाद ये चैप्टर भी आपका ओवर हो जाएगा और ये जो आपकी क्लास जो भी होगा कि इंडिया में वहां पर दिखाएगा और उसको जरूर देखो ये चीज आपको याद रखनी जब नहीं समझ आ गया हुआ था 1947
enjoy your morning sleep.
क्या कर रहा है ठीक है और उस समय से लेकर आज तक आपको कुछ भी लोग किस पर डिपेंड करते हैं एग्रीकल्चर पर डिपेंड करते हैं और सरकार को बाजार में ये एग्रीकल्चर पर मैं भी मैंने इस पर फोकस किया था एग्रीकल्चर पर फोकस किया था फाइबर प्लान जो सब आपको पता ही किसने बनाया पीएमआर उन्होंने बनाया फाइबर प्लान एग्रीकल्चर पर फोकस था इवन हमारे आप देखो 50% लोग जो है आपके इसमें जुड़े हुए हैं एग्रीकल्चर में जुड़े हुए हैं और इसलिए मात्र इंडियन बोली जाएगी ये एग्रीकल्चर करती है एग्रीकल्चर इकोनॉमी की जहाँ पे सबसे ज्यादा हमारी जीडीपी में शुरू में कंट्रीब्यूशन आता था किससे आता था एग्रीकल्चर से ही आ रहा है मगर हम 2024 की बात करें 2024 में आप देखो इंडिया में जीडीपी में जो कंट्रीब्यूशन है जीडीपी में सबसे ज्यादा कंट्रीब्यूशन आप सरकारी सेक्टर कर रहा है एग्रीकल्चर का उसमें मतलब स्कोप नहीं आया है ऐसा होने के पीछे रीजन ये है कि ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम 1947 से 2020 करके तो हमारा जो सेकेंडरी सेक्टर है वो भी ग्रो किया है और टर्शियरी सेक्टर में कुछ ज्यादा ही ग्रो कर लिया है अपनी जीडीपी में आज की डेट में अगर हम देखें तो आज की डेट में एग्रीकल्चर से मतलब कि मोटे प्राइमरी सेक्टर की जो कंट्रीब्यूशन है जीडीपी तो लगभग 15 से 20% रह गया हमारा, ठीक है। सेकेंडरी सेक्टर का कंट्रीब्यूशन लगभग 25 से 30% के बीच में है, और टर्शरी सेक्टर का कंट्रीब्यूशन जो है 55 से 60% के बीच में आ गया है। मतलब वो तो इतनी बड़ी कमाई हो रही है भाई का, वो कमाई हो रही है टर्शरी सेक्टर हमारा, एक आइटम में कमाई को जीडीपी का कंट्रीब्यूशन कम, मगर हमारी 50% से ज्यादा पॉपुलेशन इस पर डिपेंड है, एग्रीकल्चर पर डिपेंड है। तो मेजॉरिटी ऑफ पॉपुलेशन एग्रीकल्चर पर डिपेंड है, तो उसके बारे में ठीक है। ये एक आपको आइडिया लग जाएगा ये एग्रीकल्चर के बारे में, पूरा क्वेश्चन आपने पढ़ लिया। Now you will specifically the problems of Indian agriculture. अपनी जो इंडिया की एग्रीकल्चर है उसके सामने समस्याएं क्या है, एक स्टार्ट है प्रॉब्लम हमें रहेगी, ये कर हम डिस्कस करेंगे। पहली प्रॉब्लम है डिपेंडेंस ऑन मॉनसून, वहाँ के एग्रीकल्चर में ज्यादा अपनी जो एग्रीकल्चर है वो मॉनसून पर ज्यादा डिपेंड रहती है। दूसरा दो प्रोडक्ट है, तीसरी फाइनेंशियल प्रॉब्लम है इंडेक्सनेस, फोर्थ लैक ऑफ लैंड रिसोर्स, फिफ्थ है स्मॉल फार्म साइज एंड कंज्यूमेशन ऑफ लैंड होल्डिंग, सिक्स्थ है लैक ऑफ फर्टिलाइजेशन, सेवंथ प्रॉब्लम है वास्ट underemployment, or seven है need is not continuous, and एक एक करके हम डिस्कस करेंगे। पहली प्रॉब्लम है डिपेंडेंस ऑन मॉनसून। अभी तो आपको पता ही होगा कि मॉनसून का मतलब क्या है। हमें एक सिंपल सा मतलब है मॉनसून मतलब बरसात से शुरू होता है, एक मॉनसून आने होता है, और भारत में मॉनसून जो है आपको यही पता होगा। अब इसी तरह आपने पढ़ रहे हैं कि जून को मॉनसून जो है केरल में निकल आया, हमें निकल जाता है केरल निकल जाता है ये जून को, तो जून जुलाई अगस्त सितंबर की क्या बचेगा मॉनसून वाला निकल जाता है। और ये जो मॉनसून होता है जो आता है मॉनसून को साउथ ये भी आपको पता होगा जो सबसे पहले आपके रास्ते में
climate, soil, and growth.
That's so good.
Okay, sama gue pelajaran sama ini berarti bagi itu dan berpada itu sama menurut ini ngobrol di luar kita ini kalau menurut ini pada kita harus sama kayak itu berapa ya itu hari ini ya nanti dengan orang lain pun education cover mungkin about 33% of country or area area ini हमें तो 80% जितने भी आप एरिया है ना उसमें 33% एरिया जो है इसमें एरिया की फैसिलिटी है। बाकी 77% जो एरिया है वो खेती के लिए किस पर डिपेंड करता है, रेनफॉल पर डिपेंड करता है, ये डिपेंड कंट्रीब्यूट मोस्ट आता है जुलाई में जुलाई में आता है बोलते हैं साउथ वेस्ट में, अगर साउथ वेस्ट में पीक पड़ जाता है तो भैया इससे पानी की सप्लाई भी आ गई कम हो जाएगी, पानी की सप्लाई कम हो जाएगी तो सीधा जाएगा। तो जो वीक साउथ वेस्ट एडवर्सली है, एडवर्सली मतलब इस तरह से हमारे पानी की सप्लाई को जो इरिगेशन के लिए है इसको अफेक्ट करता है, ठीक है। रेनफॉल इन राजस्थान एंड अदर ब्रॉड फ्लो एरिया इज नॉट इनफ। इसके कुछ हिस्से ऐसे हैं जैसे राजस्थान हो गया है ना, महाराष्ट्र वाला रीजन हो गया, छत्तीसगढ़ वाला रीजन हो गया, वहाँ पे बरसात बहुत कम होती है। ड्रॉप फ्लो रीजन है, ड्रॉप फ्लो का मतलब होता है बिल्कुल ड्रॉप लाइक सिचुएशन यहाँ पे बन रही है, सूखे की संभावना रहती है। यहाँ पे बरसात तब बरसात होने का खेती तो बिल्कुल ही कम होगी। अगर ऐसे में बिल्कुल भी बरसात ना हो तो जितनी थोड़ी बहुत खेती होगी वो भी
We have different methods, types of agriculture.
Yeah. Everyone, welcome to the KKN26 podcast with the types of farming. रेटेड फार्मिंग क्या होती है और इरिगेटेड फार्मिंग क्या होती है लास्ट को की जोग्राफी इंडिया की वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट लैंड रिसोर्स एंड एग्रीकल्चर पर सेक्टर बनाते हैं तो ये टॉपिक आके इसके बीच हमारे फार्मिंग रिलेटेड एक्टिविटी है लास्ट को की जोग्राफी के पर्सपेक्टिव से तो देखो ये फार्मिंग मेरे लिए हम लोग दो प्रकार की फार्मिंग पढ़ने वाली मॉइस्चर की अवेलेबिलिटी का एक होती है Right? There will be any of the issue.
Basic manner, extensive abilities. I mean, the Sunday, every subject is relation history. History of resource. Questions of that. Combine the separations. Giving grounds. Other subject what we have preferences. Okay. Listen, what is intensive agri? Only one part I am taking. Why I wrote both the things? Because they are different. Earlier, subsistence and commercial are different. That is why these two are also that are different. Let's see. What is intensive? The word intensive means intensively used. See, but there is large population and the small size of land holdings are available. So in this land, people utilize the land to the maximum to get a more production. Sometimes two crops are also grown. So in order to get the maximum yield from the small size land, the land is intensively cultivated. They use every dose of fertilizers, manures, and all. Machine cannot be used as the size of the land is small. Labor intensive, that is maximum labor force is utilized for the agricultural activity. Such agricultural practice is called intensive agriculture. Mostly in the northern plains, coastal regions, this type of agricultural activities. See, you just imagine this classroom could accommodate 25 students. Now, that is what comfortably if they want to sit. Now, the 3 more students have to be accommodated. So, if you congested away, you will adjust. But the 10 have to be adjusted. Bigger size classroom is required. So this is how that the land size is small, but they want to get the maximum production. So every available bit of land is utilized to the max. Or they want to get the maximum production. So that method of agriculture is called intensive agriculture. So where the pressure of population is high, lands are small, this type of agricultural practices. So most of the time, 2 crops or 3 crops are grown to get maximum production. Clear? Intensive? Let's see the extensive. As the word itself is telling that extensive land, vast land is available. And another thing is that the population pressure is low. So in that, commercial crops can be grown. Large area, they could use machines and all. So with the help of machines, they could grow crops and all the agricultural activity with the help of modern farming techniques. But if you take that area wise, that is 1 acre or yield from one small that land is less. Overall production is high. Because large land together they are doing that machines for tilling, that the tractors are also used, other machines are used. So overall production wise, this one is good. And what happened? The crop production is meant for sale, large scale. So here you can see, don't think only about the cash crops like cotton, sugarcane, or like that. Wheat is also grown extensively. What is that? Grassland. Punjab, Haryana, and all, Western Uttar Pradesh, and all. So the vast lands are cultivated by one crop, and that is produced on large scale for selling purpose. The advantage is that population pressure is low, so they could utilize all that modern agriculture farm. Did you understand the difference? Intensive is that small land because of that population pressure. That land is intensively cultivated, whereas extensive agriculture, vast land, small population pressure, and machines are used, and this extensively cultivated. And a yield per that area, that means acre, is low, but the overall production is high, and they could sell that products. Clear? This one, both the parts. Let us see another type of agriculture. Shifting agriculture. Peter? 15 acres, not a ton. That is not a comparison, that is why one side I have it. Rural and hilly areas. What is that? That the people, they have vast forest spaces in front of. So what they used to do, they used to cut the branches, not the whole tree, the branches and burn it. And what happened in the forest land, the leaves of that trees used to be there. And it provided humus. So what they used to do, they cut the trees and clear that land, burn that branches, the ashes used to be spread. Along with that, they used to broadcast the seed source. So what they are doing, they are not digging and clearing the land. They used to do some sticks or use some sticks for making the holes and putting that seeds. So afterwards, because of the presence of humus and these ashes, they do it. After 2 years, as the land is not tilled properly, the yield will decrease. The productivity will decrease. Then what they do, they used to go to another area, do the same activity, repeat the same activity. So this land will live like that. After that, they move to another area, same activity, that land also live and go further. Now, this land will live uncultivated for 8 years, 10 years. When they return back, again the same activity. This way, when the people are shifting the places, that agriculture is known as shifting agriculture. Understood? They clear the forest, burn that stumps, and then scatter that ashes and seeds. Grow the crops for some time. When the yield is reduced, they move to another area, repeat the same activity, and leave this land uncultivated. So this type of agriculture, when the farmers are shifting the places, is known as shifting agriculture. Did you get? Say for growing the crops, land to be tilled nicely, then only it will become loose. So that the roots of the crops can grow deep. So here this practice is not done. So 1 or 2 years they get a good yield because of the presence of humus, because of the presence of water or moisture, because of the presence of that ashes. But after that, stop giving any returns, they move to another place. When they are shifting, this is called shifting agriculture. Got it, Priya? So, dry paddy, buckwheat, millets, maize, etc. are the crops grown in this way. Completed? Also? Okay. See, there are areas where one crop is produced and that crop also cash crop. Do you know the difference between cash crop and food crop? Food crops are grown, cereals are there, pulses are there, millets are there, these all are food crops. So they are used mainly for food purpose. Cash crops are mainly grown for earning money, for selling. So one single crop is grown in a vast area. That area itself is called an estate. And it is grown in row, line, at a equidistance. Such type of crop plantation is called plantation agriculture. So one single crop, large estate, and that is also mainly cash crop. Some of the cash crops are growing only for export purpose and to earn foreign incomes. For example, Indian tea is exported, coffee is exported, cotton products are exported. So like that, when it is grown only for export or mainly for export purpose, it's called the plantation agriculture. Got it? Now, what is that? These all things, scientific farming, modern methods of farming, and commercial crops are grown. They use that modern techniques, chemical fertilizers, pesticides, herbicides, etc. This type of agricultural practice is termed as plantation agriculture. So, subsistence, commercial, intensive, extensive, shifting, and plantation we have there. And one more method is there that is called the mixed farming. Have you heard about mixed farming? No. Yes or no? No. Different types of crops, particular thing. So there. Right? Peter? More purpose. Peter? Ultimately, you are doing the great shading. You are interested in coloring of the skin. Do you have any other drawing work? It's only shading. Okay, let's see. What we were doing mixed form. So when I asked you, just doubted that several crops. Okay, that is also there. That is, two or more crops are grown. But when we talk mainly about mixed farming, it is the that is growing of crops along with the rearing of cattle. We know that in the rural areas, many of the farmers are poor farmers. So agriculture is seasonal. For a particular season, let us say if we take a kharif crop, they sow in that with the onset of monsoon, harvest by October. So till that time, that field is with that crops. They don't have to be always with that crops. Now, how they will survive during that day? Till harvesting, they have to survive. Because if their life is dependent on agriculture only, then they have to have some other source of income. For that purpose, they used to rear cattle. They used to rear cattle. So cattle is acting as partners of that farms. They help them in agricultural activity. They give manners, cow dung and all. And the farm waste can be given to the cattle as a feed. You don't have to find something else. After harvesting, whatever is there, that can be given as feed. Then we know that if they are having a cow give milk. So it is a supplementary income for the farmer or additional income for the farmer. So they can survive during the off season with this dairy product, this milk. So like that, when the farmer is keeping some cattle or poultry or something else along with that agricultural activity, it is called a mixed farming. So let us imagine how the farmer will live. Because he is purely depending on that farming activity. So there is an off season. So the farmer can survive with the milk, selling of the milk, or this cattle help the farmer in the farming activity. After harvesting also this farm waste, otherwise it will be a waste. But now it can be given as a feed. So in rural areas, most of the farmers keep cattle around them. So this kind of farming practice is called as mixed farming. Clear? So we will see that the types of farming and after this we move to another. Okay. Let me come on here to work now. Okay, one is you. No. This one is this. I thought, no. Agriculture. This one. Information radio or. This, that is only like, so like. Let's see the. And that's what I'm saying, right down. This,
You only need to walk in the fresh produce aisle of your local grocery store to know that there are a lot of different things that farmers produce. With different kinds of farming comes different types of challenges, each unique to the farm and what type of industry they do. So let's look at some of these different types of farming. Agriculture has many branches that all work together to help farmers produce the food we eat. This is all the types of farming explained. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notifications so that you never miss a thing. Agronomy, this is all about recruitment and how to create better methods of producing better yield and better quality crop. It really is a science. One of those farmers do become agronomists. Sometimes a farmer will work with one to decide how to better manage his crops and what the soil needs are. Agronomists work in the lab and in the field to use their knowledge in subjects like chemistry, biology, earth science, and more to help farmers with any problems they face. According to the USDA statistics, the biggest crops that are grown in the US are wheat, oats, wheat, soybeans, corn, hay, cotton, grain, sorghum, and rice. These different crops grow in different environments and climates and different needs. So we agronomists will focus on only a few types of crops and work hard to know everything there is to know about them, instead of knowing a little bit about all the crops. They can help farmers if they have any problems with planting, harvesting, and cultivating crops. They look at the soil on the farm and how farmers can enrich the soil in order to produce the best possible yield. They look at solutions to weed or insect problems so that the farmer can implement solutions into the farms to have healthier crops. They are a valuable asset for farmers to use to help keep their farms doing the best that they can. And when the farmer is an agronomist too, this knowledge can be very valuable. Agriculture, there are a lot of times that agriculture and economy get mixed up as people don't really understand the difference. Hopefully, agronomists use science to see how soil and plants can work together to create a plant growth and how farmers, horticulturists, and farmers would cultivate varieties of fruit, vegetables, and order plants for humans to eat. They focus on types of produce. Agronomy works more with crops like grains, while horticulture works more with fruits and vegetables that come from trees, bushes, and vines that plants that grow by music. There could be some still for some people feel that a certain plant is a horticulture plant and others don't. There are some plants that are classified as both agronomic and
Methods of farming.
What types of farming are popular? One by one. But mixed farming, what is no, that mixed farming, that video. Growing methods.
What does this cropping pattern entail?
That was a.
For a start, it requires the seeds
So
of
we used to
different
tell
plant
now,
varieties.
earlier,
In this pattern,
trade or not.
So displayed.
it would need you to know that crops are sown in a definitive pattern. Yes, you heard me right. They are just sown in vast fields with absolutely no planning. Farmers have now realized the value of planning the cultivation of crops. What does planning mean when it comes to crop cultivation? What plans can the farmer make for his land? He addresses questions like which crop is best suited for his soil type, or a crop which will give him the best yield in a short span of time. He may also look at the quality of the seed and their resistance to diseases and pests. Apart from these questions, what else does a farmer plan? Well, he tries to get the maximum yield from his small people's land. How can he get the best yield? Can he grow multiple crops in a year? Yes, There are various types of crop. Farming is an age-old practice that has evolved over time, adapting to changing needs, resources, and environmental challenges. The diversity of farming types reflects the rich tapestry of agricultural practices worldwide. From producing stable grains to nurturing ornamental plants and raising livestock, the world of agriculture encompasses a wide array of techniques, each tailored to specific purposes. This diversity not only ensures food security but also fosters sustainable resource utilization. In this comprehensive exploration, we delve into the different types of farming and their unique characteristics. Welcome to Discover Agriculture YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button now and don't forget to click the bell icon for notifications on new videos. Different types of farming. Animal farming. Animal farming forms the backbone of agriculture by focusing on the cultivation of crops like wheat, corn, barley, and rice. These crops are primarily intended for human consumption as animal feed. Animal farming includes essential activities such as plowing, planting, and harvesting. Horticulture. Horticulture specializes in the cultivation of fruits, vegetables, and ornamental plants. It encompasses various practices, including orchard management, viticulture, and floriculture. Livestock farming. Livestock farming revolves around raising animals for meat, milk, wool, leather, and other byproducts. Common livestock include cattle, sheep, goats, pigs, and poultry. This type of farming takes different forms, such as ranching, dairy farming, or poultry farming. Aquaculture. Aquaculture, or fish farming, involves cultivating fish, shrimp, and other aquatic organisms in controlled environments like ponds, tanks, or cages. It plays a pivotal role in providing seafood for human consumption. Mixed farming. Mixed farming combines crop cultivation and livestock raising on the same farm. This integrated approach fosters resource and nutrient recycling between crops and animals, leading to enhanced farm efficiency. Specialty crop farming. Specialty crop farming focuses on high-value crops like herbs and spices. These crops often require specialized care and are sold at premium prices. Organic farming. Organic farming emphasizes natural and sustainable practices to grow crops and raise livestock. It avoids synthetic pesticides and fertilizers, prioritizing soil health and biodiversity. Vertical farming. Vertical farming is a modern approach that entails growing crops in stacked layers or vertically inclined surfaces in controlled environments like indoor facilities or greenhouses. It maximizes space and reduces water usage. Hydroponics. Hydroponics is a soil-based farming method involving the cultivation of plants in nutrient-rich water solutions. It is particularly suited for areas with limited animal land and enables year-round cultivation. Urban farming. Urban farming takes place in cities and urban areas, often on rooftops, vacant lots, or community gardens. It aims to provide fresh, locally sourced food for urban populations. Precision farming. Precision farming or smart farming uses technologies such as GPS, sensors, and data analytics to optimize farming practices. It enhances efficiency by enabling precise application of inputs like water, fertilizers, and pesticides. Agroforestry. Agroforestry combines tree and crop cultivation on the same land, offering multiple benefits, including enhanced biodiversity, improved soil health, and diversified income streams. Permaculture. Permaculture is a design approach that seeks to create self-sustaining agricultural ecosystems. It involves the integration of diverse plants and animals to create resilient and regenerative farming systems. Conclusion. The world of farming is as diverse as the crops it cultivates and the landscapes it spans. Different types of farming are essential for catering to the varying needs of societies, economies, and ecosystems. They play a crucial role in providing food security, sustaining natural resources, and adapting to evolving challenges such as climate change and urbanization. As farmers continue to innovate and adapt, the tapestry of agriculture will evolve further, ensuring the sustainable use of our planet's precious resources. Hope you like this video. Share this video with all friends and don't forget to subscribe Discover Agriculture channel. Thank you for watching this video. Have a nice day.
Plantation and clippers.
Plantation agriculture. In this topic, we will learn about plantation agriculture. Plantation agriculture refers to the cultivation of cash crops in the landscape, mostly in tropical regions. Plantation agriculture is a specialized economic activity which involves the growing and processing of single cash crops solely for the purpose of sale to the market. These cash crops are grown on large estates or plantations. Plantation is done manually, especially by tilling, planting, and harvesting crops. Machines are used only to break and prepare something or to transport crops. Plantation agriculture began during the Columbian period. Later, during the Industrial Revolution, Western Europe required tropical and subtropical agricultural groups had to locate on a large scale of the country. In this way, the Europeans began setting up plantations in their colonies. In the 19th century, plantation agriculture was introduced by the British in India. Plantations were restricted in narrow areas of the tropics and the seacoast, and areas that were served by railways, roads, or navigable rivers. The plantation crops that are cultivated mainly in India are rubber, tea, coffee, spices, coconut, and bananas. Plantation agriculture is mainly practiced in remote areas, unoccupied fields, and carbon hills in Tamil, a second and southern mining area in West Bengal. Plantation agriculture has a number of characteristic features.
Tea plantation.
The sole purpose of plantation agriculture is to produce high yields, high quality, and large output, most of which is exported. Plantation agriculture requires huge land. The farms are large and situated in thinly populated areas in the tropics and subtropical regions. The success of plantations depends on the exploitation of cheap labor. Labor is brought from different places, and they are provided with living accommodations, food, education, and medical facilities. Earlier, the technical and managerial staff of plantation used to be available in countries, but now they have both. Almost all the crops produced in the plantations are processed before they sent or sold in the market. Farming is done with specialized skill and, wherever possible, with the application of machinery and fertilizers. Annual crops are less effective for some agriculture than perennial trees and bushes like rubber and tea, as they provide the economic. The other most important factor in the progress of plantation are accessibility, availability of labor, difficulties in air transportation, plant diseases,
loss of soil fertility, and government policies. Mostly all plantations that eliminate labor governments. The workers live in common houses. They are also provided with other things, such as roads, paths, schools, marketplace, primary health centers, and falls in your houses. In some areas, workers are also provided with small plots of land to grow food crops, vegetables, to be used for their families. Let us now recap on the important points as we propose in this one on plantation agriculture.
Should take it. Yeah, it's.
Shifting cultivation is a traditional agricultural practice characterized by several distinct features that distinguish it from other forms of farming. Here are 7 key characteristics of shifting cultivation. 1. Land rotation. Farmers use a plot of land for cultivation for a few years and then leave it fallow for a longer period to allow the soil to regain its fertility naturally. During this fallow period, the farmer shifts to a new plot of land. 2. Slash and burn technique. Before planting, vegetation on the selected plot is cut down, slashed, and burned. The action of burnt vegetation adds nutrients to the soil, temporarily enhancing its fertility. 3. Mixed cropping. Shifting cultivation often involves the simultaneous cultivation of multiple crops, intercropping, on the same plot. This diversity helps in minimizing the risk of total crop failure and can improve soil fertility. 4. Low input agriculture. The practice typically involves minimal use of modern inputs like pesticides.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So आज इस वीडियो में हम पढ़ने वाले हैं शिफ्टिंग कल्टीवेशन क्या होता है और उसका इम्पैक्ट क्या है एनवायरनमेंट पे। आइए शुरू करते हैं। Shifting cultivation होता है। As the name is suggesting, now to the children shifting cultivation is for से बना shift और shift का भी मतलब होता है दो चीजों को एक जगह से दूसरी जगह पर।
You understand? Okay, you can show all of the action.
And agriculture है और culture is a process.
Should I change?
What is the
Intensive.
intensive analysis? Small short step is then also. What do you think you have to understand the concept? That only just above that, that man.
Imagine this, a single farm bursting with crops, producing enough to fill supermarket shelves. Or picture a clean and efficient system of raising healthy animals. That's the magic of intensive farming, an agricultural technique that maximizes yields on smaller areas of land. Intensive farming is like a well-oiled machine. Farmers use a combination of tools to achieve high outputs. Imagine a toolbox filled with fertilizers. These act like superfood for plants, giving them the nutrients they need to grow. Pesticides. These keep pesky insects at bay, protecting crops from getting launched. Machinery. Tractors, planters, and harvesters, these high-tech machines make farming faster and more efficient. Selective breeding and GMOs. Some farmers use selective breeding techniques or genetically modified organisms, GMOs, to create crops or animals with desired traits, like higher yields or disease resistance. By using these methods, intensive farming produces a ton of food, literally. It allows farmers to grow more crops on less land, which is crucial for feeding our ever-growing population. This method also offers stable food supply. Imagine never having to worry about empty shelves. Lower food prices. Because more food is produced, it becomes more affordable for everyone. As with most things in life, intensive farming has its flip side. Here are some things to consider. Environmental impact. The heavy use of fertilizers and pesticides can pollute water sources and harm ecosystems. Animal welfare concerns. In some cases, intensive animal farming can raise concerns about animal living conditions. Loss of biodiversity. Focusing on a few high-yield crops can reduce the variety of plants grown, impacting the natural balance. The debate on intensive farming is ongoing. Scientists and farmers are working on ways to make it more sustainable, like using organic fertilizers and better managing water resources. Intensive farming is a powerful tool that has helped feed the world. But like any powerful tool, it needs to be used responsibly. By finding a balance between production and sustainability, we can ensure a future with abundant food and a healthy planet. So, what do you think? Is intensive farming a necessary evil, or can we innovate for a greener future? Let's discuss in the comments below.
Concept is clear now, so that we will move to another part and we'll start at least. Okay. Bring it. Now we are moving to the agricultural lesson 2. Here we go for food crops. Do you know what is the difference between food crops and cash crops?
Food crops are grown for the survival, the needs of food. Cash crops are grown for selling.
Selling purpose. See, in some cases, these some of the food crops and cash crops are just not having that kind of demand. But we are not using that crops for our sustenance. Okay. So here in this lesson, we are going to see that what are the agricultural seasons, which are the major crops, major food crops. Okay. As far as agriculture is concerned, all the crops are not grown at a time. We know that India as a country, if we concern, we depend exclusively on the rainfall. It is almost like that. So when we depend on rainfall, there are 3 different agricultural seasons, according to which different types of crops are grown. As far as Indian farmers are concerned, they try to grow all the types of crops. So they are trying to utilize the maximum from the land. So every agricultural season also, they try different variety of crops. Mainly, it is classified into 3 cropping seasons. The first cropping season is Kharif. Kharif cropping season start with the onset of monsoon. When is the monsoon season start? June. So it's cropping season also begin with the months. That is when the monsoon arrive. That is what. So we have to say this monsoon crop is also called as rainy season crop. Okay, this monsoon crop or rainy season crop it is called as kharif crop is called as. Now, what is that period in which that the sowing is done? So sowing is done in the month of June or July. Did you get what is sowing? Sowing is the first part of that activity in which the seeds are scattered or seeds are broadcasted or seeds are planted. So the various ways they are doing. So one is that June, July, the sowing is done. Then the harvesting is done in the month of September, October. So what is that? If they sow the seeds in the month of June, they harvest it in the month of September. If July they have sown, it will be done in the month of October. Then, which are the main crops? Rice, maize, then any other crop you can make? Millets,
Wheat,
eh?
wheat,
No, wheat is not a kharif crop. Okay, so millets, groundnuts, cotton, etc. You must remember at least to. So this is the main thing. Kharif crop, rice is a kharif crop because it requires standing water. So monsoon time, that facility is available. That is why rice is the major kharif crop. So what is kharif crop? Kharif crop are those crops which are sown with the onset of monsoon. People used to prepare the field just before the monsoon, and then immediately the monsoon start, then they sow the seeds. That is why it is called a kharif crop. Okay, so when it is sowing June and July or June or July, and harvesting is done in September, October. Main crops are rice, maize, millets, groundnuts, cotton, etc. Now the next season is Rabi. Rabi is winter crop. Okay, winter crop and after the rainy season. After the rainy season means when it is starting, sowing is done in October, November, and harvesting is done March, April. This is an easy way to learn this one. Just if you are writing, you can learn this. What is that? Are you writing or marking? What you are doing? Just write so that the next class when I come, you will be able to tell where I have stopped. See, Kharif cropping season comes with the onset of monsoon. So after that, that is where it takes that 4 months. So after that harvest, we can find that it is harvested in the month of September, October. Now the next season start, that's the winter crop. It is sown in the month of October, November and harvested by March. April. So depends upon. If it is sown in October, then the harvesting by March. When it is ripening, accordingly, it will be harvested. The main crop of the Rabi season is wheat. So Kharif crop is rice, wheat is Rabi. This one you have to keep in your mind. Now, there are some differences. What is that? When this crop, that for example, Kharif crop is there in the South India. The North India, the other crops are. Because North India mainly, that the Rabi is a wheat crop is there. South India, wheat is not grown in rice. Rice, okay. So in this place, there are 3 varieties of rice they are growing. The same way in North India, that time, that is rainy season, they grow rice. During that Kharif cropping season. That is how Indian farmers are managing a variety of crops. They never keep the land idle. They grow potatoes, onions and all, depends upon that conditions of the climate. Understood? Mainly, we tell we are having 3 cropping seasons. Did you get? And the third cropping season is Zaid season. You can find Zaid Rabi, Zaid rice, Zaid Kharif in your text. This is what the difference here when it is summer. You just turn and read that one, Zaid Rabi, Zaid Kharif.
They Kharif crop.
Ah.
These are sown in August and September and are harvested in December and January.
So that is rainy season in the middle of that rainy season. But here we have seen it's a summer crop. So in between that Kharif and Rabi crop season, there is a brief period. If you are observing, you can find that watermelons are available in summer. Understood? The green peas and all are available, cucumbers are available in that amount. So that is why it is a summer crop, a waterfed crop, which is grown in a short period. So that is why it is divided into side Kharif and side Rabi. That is, wherever it is possible, that way, as interfrom this crop. Clear? So that you have to register in your brain, that is what is Kharif crop, that is the Rabi crop and what is the and then according to the order, I think up to water resources completed, mineral is there. Level, how much is that? Almost every.